Hey GHI peeps, I here. As we just celebrated Easter and Passover last week, I wanted to take a time from my Christian household to highlight some other of our American brothers and sisters, in particular the Sikhs. I don't think they get quite the credit that they deserve for their contributions to our great nation and for becoming a integral part of the fabric of our country. Hope you enjoy. I want to start off by saying if I get any pronunciations wrong, I'm very, very sorry. But here we go. Guru Nanak Dev Ji founded Sikhism in the 15th century in what is modern-day India with a simple message that there is one divine for all of creation, a loving, formless creator recognizable by all through meditation and service to humanity. This message of love of the divine and equality amongst all of the creation, regardless of race, religion, gender, background, was carried on by 9 successor gurus and is enshrined in the scripture, the Guru Granth Sahib Ji. Now, a little bit about the Sikhs' travel to America. The first migrations to the U.S. happened in the 1890s, where many came to the Pacific Northwest, including Northern California. And these men primarily worked as lumberjacks to support their families, also becoming a fixture in Western agriculture and as railroad workers. So these men and women worked very, very hard when they got here, like so many other immigrants at that time and for all time. Obviously, from the short description of the tenets of Sikhism we gave, it's quite clear the compatibility between Christian culture in the United States and Sikh culture that came just before the turn of the last century. There is quite more, though. The active assimilation and enjoying pride taken by the ancestors of our countrymen resembled the journey of many of our American brotherhood. I can relate being a son of an immigrant that took his journey to America as a great gift and brought my brother and I up in a very similar fashion. Sharing this experience, it seems to me that this puzzle piece that makes America great is not given the appreciation I feel it deserved, at least not often enough. Americans who practice or are the progeny of Sikh adherers prove why America is great while dispelling the fallacy that diversity makes us great. It is not diversity, but the accumulation of peoples into one community of love, which makes us great. Sikhs have been an active part in this experiment of tolerance since the ancestors of our neighbors, friends, and relatives got here. Americans of this ancestry have been bold and unwavering in their defense of other religious groups, secular traditions, and the fabrics of culture each group has brought to the American pie. Honestly, this has been the case in Canada, Great Britain, Australia as well. Sikhs have actively fought the war on Christmas. They're fighting the war against American pride, and GHI is proud to have you as our brothers and sisters. Below there will be some links if you'd like to learn more about the Americans of Sikh descent in this country and their contributions, including a list of 50 notable, recently noted Sikh Americans. You can find that in the description below. This is just a short little GHI report to hopefully spread a little love their way and a little bit of knowledge and understanding. There were some negative things that have happened to Sikhs after 9/11, and I did write something about that. Yes, unforgivable acts of violence befell our brothers and sisters post 9/11 because of ignorance and hate due to misidentification. Just like in the Balkans, where my family came from, many different cultures share physical traits, and it's the same in the subcontinent. My grandfather told my father when he was young that you couldn't tell a Serb from a Romanian, from a Hungarian, from a Kraut by looking at their face. You had to look at their boots. Well, the same thing is true in India and the adjoining regions of Asia. Those are, hopefully we can get some awareness out to the ignorant and how important the contribution of the Sikh culture and how seamlessly it fits into our own Judeo-Christian nature. It's like peas in a pod. Is that because of the shared Aryan heritage or Indo-European, however you want to phrase it? Maybe. Could it just be human nature to try to better ourselves and be better towards our neighbor? I hope so. I would like to highlight before the end of this video is Dalip Singh's son. He was an American, he was a United States House Representative member serving the 29th District of California from January 3rd, 1957 to January 3rd, 1963. He was the first Sikh American to be elected to Congress. In fact, he was the first American of Asian and or Indian and Sikh. So he was a forerunner. He immigrated here in the early 20th century, received his master's and PhD in mathematics from the University of California, Berkeley in 1924. Somebody that blazed the way for many other immigrants to this country, becoming true Americans and having these great American families that we have as neighbors, as friends, and as family members. So this is the GHI report. I'll talk to you guys tomorrow.